Hello, welcome to this webinar entitled Buying a Residential Property in a Conservation Area, a Conveyancer's Guide. My name is Lorraine Richardson, and I would like to just tell you a little bit about myself before we jump into conservation areas. So I'm a property solicitor and a legal trainer. I've been doing both for a very long time. When I was in practice full time, I was a partner and the culp at my firm, but I'm now freelance and do all sorts of things, including having written a couple of conveyancing related books for Law Brief Publishing, document signing and electronic signatures, and a practical guide to residential freehold conveyancing. And I set up my own company now, Adapt Law. So if any of you want to find me after the event, you will be able to find me at Adapt Law. But that's quite enough about me. This is a webinar on, a range of issues really relating to conservation areas, because as conveyancers, we are often faced with clients who are purchasing a property in a conservation area. And there are a number of miscellaneous restrictions really about what can and can't be done in a conservation area. And we do need to be able to recognise them and clearly advise on them. And as really with all sort of planning matters, and this sort of is in a way, the conveyancer must understand past work and changes to the property, as well as taking clear instructions as to what our clients' intentions are once they've bought the property. So all planning issues do require us to look backwards and forwards. So, as I say, what's happened to the property to date, but knowing what your client's intentions are regarding the property is actually a really important part of the Know Your Client process. So, it's not enough to just say to the client, well, here's the history about the property. If you don't know what your client intends to use the property for when their purchase completes, that could cause problems, because you will effectively have allowed your client to purchase a property that they can't use for their stated intentions. So we're going to have we're going to think about what a conservation area is. Of course, we're going to find out how do we find out if the property is in a conservation area? There's various pretty straightforward ways that you'll all be aware of. When do we need planning permission? And spoiler alert, that's not a straightforward answer. Think about any other planning constraints. And it seems I can't talk about conveyancing these days without also sort of following up at the end of a session with just thinking about whether the good old lenders under the UK Mortgage Lenders Handbook, UK Finance Mortgage Lenders Handbook, whether there are any requirements there.